3 other children at the time. When I gave birth to my son, Emmanuel Woods, he was premature. He had to stay in ICU. At that stage of my life, I was a young mother who was trying to take care of her children the best she could. And I made some terrible decisions. But the woman that's sick before you today, I'm not that same person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. How y'all doing? I'd like to let it be known that I haven't had much time with my mother as in growing up, but from what I've had time with her since she's been incarcerated and that she's been reaching out to me and being supportive of me in spite of her situation, she's a totally different woman. I've really seen her grow through adversity. She still stays optimistic. You feel what I'm saying? She doesn't take it out on others. She puts all her trust into God. You know what I'm saying? And she taught us to put our trust in God. Outside, she could be so much more productive to the lives of others, like that has been in her predicament, in her situation, and that her story can impact so many people. And she could touch a whole lot of people, especially in the city that we come from, in New Orleans, that this is common, you know what I'm saying? Single parents, doing whatever they could to take care of their children. And sometimes tragedy happens, but I feel like she could really, touch the lives of so many people. Like my brother said, she has grown a lot. She's grown tremendously. She has been there for me and my siblings while incarcerated. I know, especially for me, from my personal experience, when I was in college, she made sure I had birthday gifts. I guess she was in a program where she learned how to knit sweaters and make handcraft jewelry. And she was the only one 2 years in a row to actually send me something for my birthday. So I thought it was amazing. But I could just tell, even from afar, that she's a mother and she wants to be a mother and that she's learned from her mistakes. I'm trying not to get emotional. I'm sorry. But as my brother said, I believe she'd be more productive on the outside, and it'd be great for us all, for all my siblings, to have her there, have her physically in person, not just spiritually,
What it is, what it do, what it be like. Welcome back to What the Hell Is News, where everything we react to, you're going to be like, what the hell is, man? Now, today we reacting to another clip from Introvert Rockstar. And the title of this video is New Orleans Mom Denied Parole After Feeding Her Baby Cow's milk, my bad. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that in there. But the backstory behind that situation, man, and it hit home, it hit different. Me being from Louisiana, this was during Hurricane Katrina. In the midst of it, people was refugees, man. They was trying, no money, no funds, no food, barely, trying to do what they gotta do and trying to find somewhere safe to get to, you feel me? And unfortunately, I don't know if the lady ran out of milk formula for her baby, but she had to do what she had to do. She gave her baby cow's milk. At the time the baby was like an infant, so, the baby couldn't congest the milk. And it ended up passing away. She ended up going to jail. And now this is the parole hearing. And we're going to get into it because, man, Louisiana, bro, like I told y'all, they still under these old school laws, bro. And this one place you don't want to get locked up at because they don't treat you fair. It's no real justice, you feel me? But, man, let's get into it.
And this article is by NOLA.com. It was published February 10th, 2026. Woods told the parole board that the baby was throwing up his formula in large amounts and that she'd run out of vouchers for the federal program to help low-income postpartum mothers and children, known as WIC. That makes sense. First of all, rest in peace to that baby, because I don't wish that on no family. But Miss Woods was a young mother, and she was fleeing Hurricane Katrina, not even knowing if her family members were still alive. And look, at that time, anyone could have made that mistake because it was so much chaos going on. Tell me I'm lying, but tell me that.
Facts, brother. Like, for real, like, these people got to do what they got to do to survive, man. Like, they be acting like they don't understand nothing when it come to black people, bro. And that would be pissing me off, bro. Because they be acting like, oh, you don't supposed to do that. Like, which you don't, but like, man, we get it how we live, man. That's what they don't know, and I hate that, man. And so if it was, I'm gonna shut up, I'm gonna rock out, and we're gonna come back.
Yes. How many people died because of this racist system during Hurricane Katrina? How many people was murdered? How many people was neglected? How many people was abandoned because of this racist system during Hurricane Katrina? We'll talk about that later on in this video. But before I spaz out, run the tape.
Tiffany Woods and Emmanuel Scott were convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison for feeding their infant cow's milk after fleeing Hurricane Katrina and could be set free after...
Bruh, they sentenced this lady life, bruh. Nah, I understand, bruh. And like I say, rest in peace to the baby. May the Lord be with him in the spirit, you feel me? And that was her child. Ain't like I don't think she purposely tried to kill the baby. Like, she was trying to, it's common sense, she was trying to feed the baby. Like, do what she had to do to survive, and hopefully the baby would have survived. But unfortunately, he ended up passing. But they act like she just like murdered them, like, did something dramatic to him. You feel me? And y'all giving this lady life, bruh. But if the fool was on the other, man, if it was a Karen, man, it would have been a whole nother story, bro. That's all I want to say. That's crazy.
Pardon board vote this week. Their son Emmanuel, who weighed just over 3 pounds, spent time in intensive care and was awaiting tests for a genetic abnormality when the family fled the city ahead of Katrina's arrival. The baby struggled to take formula, so Woods fed him cow's milk instead. A few weeks later, he died of malnutrition. According to the CDC, feeding cow's milk to children before they turn 1 can put them at risk for intestinal bleeding. It also lacks the nutrients babies need to grow and has more proteins and minerals than a baby's kidneys are able to handle. They were both denied parole. Now, Woods appealed for her release, telling the Louisiana Board of Pardons that she knew she had made mistakes and turned her life around. Prosecutor Suzanne Ellis, who had prosecuted the couple in the original case, begged for the panel to maintain the sentence, stating,
"Do not give her an opportunity to harm another child, because I am convinced that if she can, she will."
The board voted that Woods should go free, but the final decision is down to Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards.
And you already know what I say make sense. Don't give her another chance to harm another child. What you talking about, Willis? You see how these people just sitting up there acting like they guys, bro? They can play with your life because your freedom is in their hands. Your life is in their hands, bro. They love that power because when it comes to our people and we make one mistake, bro, your first charge, they can throw the book at you and give you life. These people, bro, trust me, look. Trust me when I say this. In Louisiana, those racist people, they don't care about black children. They don't care about black mothers. They don't care about black fathers. Hell, they don't care about black families, period. Check this out. In 2005, even before Hurricane Katrina, New Orleans faced severe infant mortality disparities. Black infants died at roughly 13 deaths per 1,000 births, compared with 5.2 per 1,000 for white infants, meaning black babies were dying at over twice the rate. While exact city rankings for that year aren't formally published, New Orleans was widely recognized as among the higher risk major U.S. cities for infant mortality. Make that make sense. So again, these racist people don't care about black babies, bro. Matter of fact, this is how cold the game is. It's all by design. It was all done on purpose because their race is declining. So in Louisiana, they ain't gonna show this stuff all the time on the news like they should. It's not gonna be in the news articles like it should. They're not gonna show you the real stats. Because you gonna say, damn, this crazy. I see why nobody having babies. But they gonna show you a black woman being arrested and they giving her life because she made a mistake. But they'll never arrest these doctors. They'll never arrest these nurses.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's how I look at it is, and I ain't taking enough for her because of her color, her skin tone. But it sounds like a mistake, and what make it even more crazy is that her son speaking up for her. It ain't like they going against her or didn't show because they mad about she wasn't in their life and things like that. Like her sons still want that relationship. You know, they still talking to her, communicating with her behind the walls. You feel what I'm saying? They looking for their mother to come home, greet them, love them, be in their life. You know, they might have grandkids. She might be a grandmother, like all that type of stuff. And they taking that from her and her sons, bro. Like that's what's crazy. And that's the cold blooded part, bro. And you still got the nerve to sit up there looking like a goddamn man. I don't know what this white lady look like, but motherfucking fucking dust mop. You know what I'm saying? And still had a nerve to deny this lady. She been in there since Hurricane Katrina, bro. That been years ago. Bro, that don't make no sense.
Never punish these hospitals when they murder black women while they in labor. When they murder black babies. I keep telling y'all, bro, the game is cold. And this the wild part, bro. This is what pisses me off about Louisiana, bro. 2 out of the 3 board members, they voted for Miss Woods to go home. Yeah. They voted for her to be in the program, but go home and be free. It was this one, Hills Have Eyes, bro. Hills Have Eyes board member, Carolyn Stapleton. She said this, check it out. You've done remarkable, wonderful things, but because of the condition of the child and the circumstances that the DA's office described, I am not going to be able to grant you parole today, said Stapleton, a retired victim.
You contradicting yourself. You say all that saying you did wonderful, remarkable things, but then you want to flip it and bring that up. Like, come on, man. Like, she know that's just being dirty. Like, the lady been in there all this time. Her first offense, you could tell it was a mistake. Her kids vouching for her to come home. And you sit up there and still deny this lady, bro. That's crazy work, man. That's
Assistant Director for the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office. Make that make sense. And I keep telling y'all over and over and over again, in Louisiana, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the right connections, they go railroad you every single time, bro. 100% of the time, they go railroad you. If you don't know the right people, if you don't have the money, you're cooked, bro. Ask anybody from Louisiana. If you don't have the...
He ain't lying, facts, man. East Baton Rouge Parish, man, all this, man, everywhere, bro. He right, man. You better have a lawyer or something, bro. Especially if you in a real major crime, you feel me? Like, because they gonna railroad you, bro. Like, this system is still under Jim Crow laws. This is like slavery, you know what I'm saying? Like, this lady did all the programs, good things, you know, probably got good time, and still denied parole. Like, what they do that at, bro? I thought, man, that's crazy, dog. That's crazy. Like, I don't understand it, man. Like I say, it's slavery down here, man. And, you know, they get paid just for however many inmates go to programs. You don't have to, but, you know, you want to go to program, you know, to get some good time, good things on your background while you there. They get paid for that by you going to these programs in jail. Like, man, it's all set up.
Money for the lawyers, you're gone, bro. You might as well charge it to the game, man. You might as well. But I have a question for y'all, and I want y'all to put the answer in the comment section. If the tables were reversed, if this was a young Caucasian woman and she gave her son cow milk and her son died, do y'all believe that they would have gave her life in prison? Don't worry, I got time. I'll wait. Yeah, all right, hell no. Matter of fact, they gonna give her help. They gonna send her to rehab. They might give her some mental help. They might even give her money, bro. This the games these people play. If it was a young Caucasian woman, bro, she's not going to prison at all, man. See, they want our people to still be slaves. In Louisiana, they send you to prison. To them, you are a slave. They want you in there making the furniture. They want you in there making the cowhide belts. They want you in there making the license plates. They want you in there working for free, man, so they can make money off of you for life. So that's why they give you a life sentence on your first charge, bro, because they want you to be a slave for life. They want to give our people a life sentence, but give their people a life sentence. The game is cold. And look, if you was in Louisiana in 2005 during Hurricane Katrina, you already know how crazy it was, man. You already know how crazy it was. So just imagine living through that, man. Just imagine. See, George W. Bush and the government, man, they sat back for 5 days, man, and they watched people die. They watched people die, bro. We had to save each other. They watched. And then when they came to act like they was saving people, bro, guess what they was doing? Our people was walking to Jefferson Parish because, that was an escape out of the city. These people turned them around at gunpoint, dog. He sent them to watch the French Quarters. He sent them to protect downtown because New Orleans is a tourist area. So they worried about the money. They wasn't focused on the people, man. A lot of people died because of that. No one was arrested. Like I told y'all earlier, it wasn't the hurricane that caused the issues, bro. It was them blowing up the levees. And that wasn't their first time blowing up the levees in New Orleans. Go do your research. Hurricane Betsy, the Great Flood. Go do your research, man. They got pictures on Google. They used dynamites to blow up the levees, bro, to run Black Americans out of New Orleans. Some of it worked, but our people still.
And you gotta think about it. You go back in time, man. Like New Orleans is like French Creole. Like the French settlements people when they first came over here to discover New Orleans. White people, I'm gonna say. You feel what I'm saying? But it was a mix of people. It just go deep, man. It go deep, man. And they been trying to, like, they used the black people even back then to build New Orleans. Like the black people built that shit, man. You feel what I'm saying? The whole infrastructure, and then other minorities, other people, of races, Spanish, Indians, you feel me? All that, but it's like they used us like they always been doing, like they always did, bro. And it's sad, bro. It's sad, bro. Like how we just keep getting the short end of the stick, man. And just know, bro, it won't be long, bro, till we all alone, dog. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we are them people. We the chosen ones. We the Israelites, dog. Just know that. You hear me? We the lost tribe. You hear me? And them bitches they know that. They don't like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for us, bro, America wouldn't be shit, nothing. Like, it wouldn't be nothing, dog. You feel me? Like, America don't have no culture. They don't have nothing, dog. Like, they don't have no culture. America is full of mixed culture. Black people is dominating that. But I'm saying, but outside of us, you got Chinese people here. You got Spanish people here. You got Arab people here, like African people here. And you put all that in one pot, that make America. You feel what I'm saying? Chinese food, Spanish food, soul food, Indian food, whatever, man. All kind of cuisines when you come here. You feel what I'm saying? All in one. So, man, man, I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. But appreciate y'all for rocking with the video, man. I am gonna be dropping more content like this, similar and just real life stuff, man. What we gotta watch for in the food and things like that. Just real life stuff, cause it's getting real out here, man. But comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if y'all familiar with this situation. And yeah, man, I'm out.